D, wait for it, light bulb.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So I just finished Superman and Lois, episode 12. And you guys, this show is so freaking good. I love this show so much. And we're going to break this episode down and get into it and everything. But yeah, I love this show. This had a little bit of a hiatus. I believe we have three or four more episodes left of this season. And I love this show. I feel like they wrapped up the Morgan Edge thing in this episode a little too early, but I have faith that this show will still be going strong by the end of it because I just love every episode of this show. I just feel like it just keeps getting better and better. If you remember last episode, Clark went with Morgan Edge to his Fortress of Solitude, which was in the desert. Where he was going to surrender to Morgan Edge's father. I don't remember his name. The ugly fat dude. He's so gross with his all wrinkly skin. Yeah, and I was all like, oh, no wonder Superman's mom left him. He's gross. So there he was getting, blasted by that shield and his eyes went red. He's all like, I'm gonna become. And then Lois had called John Irons and everything. So I'm going to start by breaking this down and everything, and we're going to get into it and discuss all that stuff because this was, like I said, this was a really good episode. So it starts off in Metropolis, and we get John Irons. He is looking for his sister. And he's trying to find her and everything. And the computer's all like, oh, she's in the taxi to your left and everything. The computer's like, if you would like to connect with your sister now of this earth, now is the time to do it. And but then he gets the call from Lois Lane and she's all like, John, he's been, taken, he's been corrupted or whatever. I need your help or something like that. I can't remember exactly what she said. So then we hop over to Morgan Edge's Fortress of Solitude, and he's being tortured, and Superman is fighting it, so he's doing a good job. He's all like, he's all like, you can fight it, but pain is weakness or something like that. I can't remember what he said and everything. He's all like, but no one can fight forever or whatever he says, and I'm all like, yeah, you didn't even try, which it kind of makes me wonder, like, okay, and we'll talk about that later. Okay, so then Lois is really depressed about this, and her two sons are talking. And she's all like, we are going to figure this out, but your dad's going to be okay. We're going to figure this out or whatnot. And then she comes in and her dad's like, we can't find him. She's really upset about this. He's like, we think maybe he went over the desert or something like that. I can't remember exactly what he said because I literally just watched it, but they can't find him on satellites. They can't find Superman. And it's because he's in the Fortress of Solitude and you can't find him there. So we hop over to Smallville, and Lana Lang and her husband, Alex, he decides he's going to go back into work. And Sarah's all like, don't you think maybe you should rest for a couple of days or whatnot? And so this woman shows up. I don't remember her name. Sorry. But she obviously works at the fire station. And she's all like, baby, oh, sorry. Really sorry. She says, you shouldn't come to work. People are mad about what happened, and they're kind of blaming you because you rallied behind Morgan Edge, and he brought all this torture and stuff and everything. And he's like, I was just trying to bring jobs to the town or whatnot. So then the boys are talking, and Jonathan, and this is why I love Jonathan, because he tells Jordan, he's all like, we need to do something. We need to find Dad. We need help find Dad. And he's all like, I can't do it. And he's like, but you have that super hearing. And he's like, yeah, but he's like, I can't, it took Dad years of training. And he's like, yeah, but he's like, I believe in you. And this is why I love John, because John is like, I don't have superpowers, but my little brother does. And I'm going to help him hone in his powers so we can save our dad. And I was like, and that's why I love it. It's just so great. So then he's like, I can't do it with all these soldiers around. He's like, all right, let's go find a place to do it. So they go out, they head off to do it while John Irons shows up. Oh, so sorry. And they're talking about the fact that how they're going to stop. And he's all like, and he's like, I'm here to kill him. And she's like, no, that's not why we called him and everything. And she's like, we did not call him to kill my husband, even though she doesn't say her husband yet. But she's all like, I called you so you would help us. And he's all like, yeah, Superman told you to call me because he knew that he needed to be put down, kind of thing. So these two are sitting here, and he's trying to get Jordan to use his hearing to find his dad. And he's trying. Well, then John Irons shows General Lane um, how to what this is what he needs to stop Superman and everything, to take him down. And he's like, can you get me this tech or whatnot? And he's like, did this work? And he's like, well, it kind of did on my world. And he shows how he went through this little portal and everything, because he fired it and he went through this portal and he ended up on our Earth, or Earth, whatever number this is. And he's like, so you can't really tell me that it worked. And he's like, well, it kind of worked, which we don't really know. I apologize so hardcore that I'm yawning so much. It's so late right here, and and because I stayed up because I'm waiting for Loki. Anyway, so then Lana and Alex show up, and what is her name? Elizabeth, I think. They come out of the little tent to be checked out to make sure they don't have any Kryptonians, and they're mad at him. The husband blames Alex because he rather behind Morgan Edge. He's like, I just wanted jobs for the town again. And she's like, it's your fault. You should have protected us. And she's like, I'm so sorry. And they're like, don't talk to me, kind of thing. But then Lois is all like, listen, they're angry and they need somebody to blame. They'll get over it, but it's going to take time. And so she's like, can I talk to you guys? So she's interviewing. She's like, anything you can remember about what happened to you, Alex and Lana, will really help me out in saving Superman, kind of thing. And he's all like, well, there was a darkness. She's like, so, but you could fight it. And he's like, yeah, I just kept thinking about my family, but then I gave up because I was like, they'd be better off without me. And she's like, but you could fight it. And he's like, yeah. So then Superman is obviously fighting it. Like, he's hardcore fighting. He's like, I don't want to go. And he keeps thinking about his family and everything. And he flies out of the Fortress of Solitude, and he sends out a message to Jordan. Jordan's like, I hear him and everything. He's like, Jordan, listen, I'm in the desert. I'm in the wasteland or something like that. I can't remember what he says. But then Morgan Edge comes and he's like talking to Jordan also. And he's all like, anyone you send, they won't find your father here. They'll find somebody else, kind of thing. So then Lois Diggle shows up, which I'm so curious. Is this in the Arrowverse, or is in this own little thing? I don't know. And in all honesty, I don't care. The show's still so good. If it's not in the Arrowverse, fine. If it is in the Arrowverse, fine. It's still so good and everything. So then she's all like, why are you here? And he's like, just delivering some tech. So then she goes in, and they realize that General Lane lied to him, and that he wanted their Argus's tech so it could go with John Irons's tech so they could destroy Superman. He's like, I would have never came here if I knew that's what you were going to do. And he's all like, you know what went down. He told you to call me because he needed to be brought down, kind of thing. They keep saying that they think they like say it like 3 times. So then Lana and her husband Alex, they show up at their house, and it's been graffiti, and it says, get out of Smallville. And he's upset, and he's like, they attacked our home. Oh yeah, and they broke the window there. He's like, they attacked our home. And he's like, what if the girls were here? And she's like, but nobody was here, nobody got hurt, it's gonna be okay. So then they go, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. So then Jonathan tells Lois and General Lane what's going down, and he's all like, we need to do something. So she goes to John, and she's like, I need to talk to you. She's like, I know that you say how can I trust Superman? And the reason is because he has a family to fight for. He's my husband. He's like, Clark Kent is Superman. And so he can't believe it. And she's like, that's why I know he wouldn't just give up on us, kind of thing. And so then Diggle tells him, I wouldn't have brought the thing if I knew you were doing this. And he's like, yeah, I know. That's why I lied to you. And then he comes in and look at that look he gives him. I wish I got a better shot of that. So then they clean off the graffiti, and he's like, you just need a little elbow grease and some muscle or whatever. And they get into a little water fight, and it's kind of cute. I don't know. Whatever. Fast forward. Anyways, so then Lois is trying to figure something out, and the boys come in, and they're like, what's going on? And she's like, I don't know what's going to happen, kind of thing. So Clark is fighting, and he finally he doesn't give up, but he just gets taken over by General Zod. That's the personality that goes into him. And I was like, shut up. I was like, so what does that mean? Because in Supergirl, he killed General Zod. So I'm very curious as to what it means with like the personalities and all that stuff. So then he gets turned into General Zod, and he calls his dad. He's like, you're here. We're going to do what we came to do here, General Zod and everything. And I was all like, I wonder what's going down. So then General Lane and them, they're all like, okay, we know where they're at. So then he puts in the little rocket, and the son comes in. He's like, listen, I saw your world. I saw what, Superman did to my mom, and I saw your daughter. And gives him a little pep talk, like basically like, don't kill my dad and everything, which is fine. So then they go in, and John Irons shows up. This is a good shot. This is the shot I'm going to use for my thumbnail. And he's all like, Superman hits, and he's all like, has he been compromised? And he's all like, yeah, and everything. So then Superman flies at him, and then they fly up into space, and he's just kicking the crap out of him. And I really like these colors that they've chosen this. Anyway, so he falls to the earth, and he's like, gets up. Superman shows up, and he's ready to go, I guess, or whatnot. Hits him, and she's all like, he's still there and everything. You can't do this kind of thing. And so he blasts him back, and she's like, John, please, he's still there, kind of thing. And she's like, you can't beat him, one-on-one and everything. And so he calls in the hammer. He hits him, and then he sees that he's starting to fight. He's like trying to fight the Zod personality. So she's like, please, and everything, yada, yada, yada. So then he's all like, before he's going to go, she's all like, please don't do it. And he's all like, I can't stop it and everything. She's like, he's in there. He's trying to fight, yada, yada, yada. And then he goes and he's like, Clark, you can't give up. You've got a family. You need to fight. You need to fight this. You can do it. Just remember them, kind of thing. And he starts remembering Lois, starts remembering the boys, starts remembering his life as a family. And this was touching. I love when they do stuff like, look, she's very hot. She looks good there. Anyways, there's a lot of hot people on this show. That's one of the show's problem. All the hot people. Anyways, and everything. So then he finally gets rid of the Zod personality, and he's all brand new. So he gets up, and he's all like, General, we've got him back, kind of thing. And they're like, yay, and everything. So then he hears them, and he's all like, Father, we've lost him. And he's all like, Kal-El, and he's like, no, General Zod. And he's all like, you know what you've got to, you know what to do and everything. And he's all like, you're the reason that Krypton's destroyed. And I'm all like, what does that mean? I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? It was just, you're the reason it was destroyed. What do you mean? What do you mean it was destroyed? What is going on? What does that mean? So then he's like, you know what to do. Don't be weak. I can't remember everything he said. I mean, I'm surprised he's not all like, listen here, pussy boy, you didn't do anything. I was like, gosh, wow, bring back memories. Anyways, so then he grabs the little tectonometron. I don't freaking remember what this thing's name is. He grabs it and he busts out and everything, and they're following him and everything, and they're flying through. I really wish this wasn't so grainy, this shot right here, but anyway, so they're flying through, and then he flies up into space, and he's all like, I got this, and he's like, stay here and everything. So they fly up, and he gets really, that's a good shot too. Oh, they picked some really good colors. Anyways, I wish that the face helmet wasn't, I wish it looked more comic book accurate, but whatever, can't beggars can't be choosers, although I'm not begging. So then he starts blasting this thing with his laser vision, and at first I thought what was going to happen was he was going to blast it open, and then like all Scientology, the little aliens were going to attach to people on Earth. That's what Scientologists believe. They're weird. Anyways, please don't come after me, Scientology. I will handle myself. Anyway, so then he blasts the little thing. It explodes, and Morgan Edge falls to Earth. And then Superman lands, and he's all like, you could have ruled with me, brother, but now I'm going to, you're going to lie dead in a pile of ash and everything. Punches him and everything. And then he lands, and all is well. So then they're waiting for Superman. He shows up, and he's like, hey, she's like, hey, yourself. And then she goes and they embrace and they kiss, and it's so freaking cute and everything. And these two are just sitting there like, hey, mom and dad are kissing. I would have been like, ew, gross and everything. So then they're holding it, and he's like, boys, come here. And then he's like, how did you beat it? And he's like, I just thought of you guys. And then John Irons shows up and he's all like, everything's good. And he's all like, and then Jonathan's all like, sorry, I hit you with a truck. He's like, don't worry about it. And he's all like, you want to stay for dinner? And she's like, I'm order a mean takeout and everything. And he's all like, no, family time is really important and everything. And so he flies off. And he's like, I got to go back to Oxygen generally. And that's a good shot too. See, I like that. I really, you know what gets me about this costume, about Steel here? Um, I really I like this going on right here, but I wish that he had the red cape, the S, that would look fantastic there. And then I also wish that he had the helmet that looked more comic book accurate. Now, this helmet that he wears in the show could be recent comic book accurate because I haven't seen Steel in the comic books for anytime soon or anytime recently. But I wish it just had more a comic book accurate helmet. But he looks good right here in this. This is a really good shot right here. Anyways, so then he flies off. And then we go back over to Lana and Alex's house. And I don't know where this little girl was, their youngest daughter. This actress that plays the youngest daughter is not a good actress. She sucks. Like the whole time I was like, this little girl needs to take some acting lessons or hire a new little girl because she is awful. And he's all like, yeah, we're making pancakes for dinner. And she's like, oh, he's like making dinosaur pancakes. And she's like, for dinner? And he's like, yeah, why not? Who hasn't had pancakes for dinner? Sorry, Americans. Who hasn't had pancakes for dinner? I mean, what? Like, of course you have. Who hasn't had breakfast for dinner? Or freaking weirdos? That's who. So then she's like, we're gonna be okay. He's like, yeah, we are, kind of thing. So then back at the Kent farm, he's talking. He's all like, Edge is in a prison. We're gonna pull out after a couple of days. Everything's probably gonna be okay. And so then Morgan Edge, this is the last shot. Morgan Edge is sitting in this prison, and then all of a sudden he hears voices, and he's like, we're here to do what we came to do, or something like that. And he gets this shit-eating grin on his face and everything. And I'm all like, ooh, we're not done with Morgan Edge and his little nefarious plans. It's gonna be good. And so that's where they end it. And I just want to say that this show is absolutely fantastic. Like, I love this show. Like, it is so freaking good. Like, every single episode has been like good. I mean, nothing has been mediocre. I like, they spent money on the visual effects. The writing is top notch. I mean, everything about this. I love everything about this show. I just love it and everything. I mean, I can't say enough nice things about this show. Like, it's just so freaking good. And I can't wait to see what they do next week. I didn't watch the promo before I started making this video, so I probably should have to see what was going to go on next week. But I'm really interested to see what they do. I mean, does Morgan Edge have all the personalities that were in that little Techtronomicon? I don't remember what it was called. Or does he just have his dad's? It was that his dad talking? I don't know. But whatever it was, I likes it and I want to see more of it because this show is so freaking good. This is like the best CW show like ever. Like, I loved Arrow, but I love this show more, I think. So tell me, what did you guys think about this episode of Superman and Lois? Did you like this episode? Did you not like this episode? What was your favorite part? When it comes to John Irons and Steel and everything, are you like me and you want the red cape and the more comic accurate helmet? Or is this helmet totally fine for you? Do you think Morgan Edge has all the personalities or just the one personality that was talking to him with the blue eyes and everything? And what happened to Leslie? Because said they were looking for Leslie. What happened to her? And what personality does she have in her? Like, I want to know. I want to know all these things. Yeah, go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. And if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week on this Superman and Lois breakdown and review. You guys have a good week. Bye.